Recipient of the Shikonia Medal Gold, Aloy Remises Lequay still stands today a respected and dedicated citizen who has served in Trinidad and Tobago in the fields of politics and sports with integrity, determination, and a strength of will that led to valuable contributions to our people and the wider region.
Most people believe I am a San Fernandian, but I'm a San Fernandian by adoption. I was born in Port of Spain and I grew up in Port of Spain, and I left Port of Spain. In fact, I grew up what is known as East Dry River, Duncan Street, Pier Lane, Harvey Street. It's all in the Duncan Street, Piccadilly Street area. And I came here in August 39 on holidays, and I'm still here in 2009.
Having moved from his home on Pier Lane, East Dry River, to live in San Fernando in July 1939, Aloy Lequay came head-on with events that would begin to change his life. Starting as an office boy, he began his upward climb into the life of a sports administrator, then later on into politics, where he was able to strike a healthy balance, serving the people on the political platform and shaping the future of sports, especially in the areas of table tennis and cricket.
I first entered into sports. When I came to San Fernando in 1939, I got involved with a lot of well-known San Fernando families. You will still know some of the names, the Kangaloos. Christine Kangaloo is now an MP. Her father, Carly Kangaloo, was mayor of San Fernando. The Jagannaths, they still have a sports store on High Street. The Ramkari Singhs, the Indars, Dr. Rupert Indar, who now owns the Southern Medical Center. The Samis, Dr. Alan Sami is now the head of the Penal Debe Regional Corporation. So they all lived in that same area, the Takurs. And as a consequence, we got together and we founded in 1944, 2nd of July 44, the Oxford Club, which still exists and which has a building not too far from here. And I got involved in sports administration. Not being a good player, I decided that I will assist in sports development through administration.
I learned about his ability to organize early on. He helped me in organizing my own politics later on. I appreciated his knowledge about the days of independence and the trials and tribulations that our political leaders had to undergo. He allowed me to appreciate that part of our history.
I was invited in November of 1960 by the late Ashford Sidanan, who was then the de facto leader of the Democratic Labour Party. Dr. Ramnarayan Jagannath of Oxford and Dr. Alexander Sinanan of Oxford were friends of Ashford. And they said to Ashford, look, Aloy is a good organizer. Why don't we get him to come and help to reorganize the Democratic Labour Party, to effect the transfer of leadership from Badis to Rujana Kapilil. Badis, who I refer to here, Badis Sagan Maharaj, a name that we should know. And that's how I eventually got into the politics in 1960.
Having been invited at the time to join the Democratic Labour Party in 1960, Aloy Lequay gained the respect and admiration of his colleagues. He was then appointed General Secretary of the Democratic Labour Party and went on to win the South Naparima constituency in 1966. In 1968, he was appointed Opposition Chief Whip, and in 1973, he was elected the leader of the Democratic Labour Party.
As a parliamentarian, Aloy Lequay was the model parliamentary representative. Today, government provides offices and staff for parliamentarian. Aloy Lequay maintained constituency offices at his own expense and served his constituency with absolute distinction, while at the same time involved even then in the 60s in dynamic ways in the administration of sports.
Obviously, my best experience will not have been as opposition chief whip or being on the opposition benches. It will have been at the time when I was leader of government business in the Senate. And the most demanding and stressful debate was the debate to reduce people's salaries.
He was a good debater. He was a good debater because he spent a lot of time preparing. When he stood up, his intention was to influence the government to respond to the issues that he discussed in the hope that there would be changes.
But the country was in a very, very bad economic state at the time. We had to go to the World Bank and to the MIF. And we were told by the MIF, the International Monetary Fund, that the only way we could survive, we cannot increase our revenues. Oil prices has gone down to $9 a barrel. So therefore we've got to reduce our expenses. And we took the decision, instead of sending home public servants, we had to reduce salaries across the board.
Aloy Lequay very effectively records his many years of experience in his autobiography, Winning Against the Tide.
Well, I remember his book, Against the Tide, which was really an account of his public life and the challenges he faced in the cricketing world, where, as you know, he played an important role both in terms of his support to the sporting community of Trinidad and Tobago in his early days, and subsequently in his leadership of the cricketing authorities in the Caribbean.
Having been awarded the Shikonia Medal of the Trinity, Aloy Lequay shares what this meant to him.
That award to me signifies that the government of the day understood my contribution to national development. And I still use the initial CMT, which means Shikonia Medal of the Trinity, on my call cards and some important letters that I might write from time to time, in order to signal to particularly the younger generation that there is a reward or an award for contribution to national development.
The sport of cricket is one that is very much a part of the society of Trinidad and Tobago, and Aloy Lequay became the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board in 1977, helping to bring about important changes.
Mr. Lequay represented the transition from cricket domination by Queen's Park to the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board of Control. And that administration brought cricket closer to the people, and we saw during the period, the long period of its involvement, the emergence of communities like Prisal, for example, and cricket being played an equal place across the land of Trinidad and Tobago.
In my view, the best single project that I ever did was leading the construction of what is now the National Cricket Center at Balmain, and more importantly, constructing the Sir Frank Worrell Development Center. The Sir Frank Worrell Development Center is a venue for development of young cricketers from age 13 right up.
What came to me when I looked at that part of his life was a sense of humility with which he approached every duty of his, with a sense of understanding human relations. But at no time did he express unnecessary anger, although many times he would have been disappointed. And that, to me, was the source of great inspiration to people like us. For Aloy Lequay, in that discharge, was able to show us how to lead with humility.
Aloy remises Lequay when asked why he still bats within the crease of the sometimes tumultuous world of politics. This son of the soil replies,
national service. That's why I'm still in politics. I have not been influenced by status, power, position, or money. I have been influenced by national service. And when I reflect, I believe it is because, as I said in my opening remarks, of my boyhood days and where I came from.
While he's calm, while he's quiet, he's also intense and won't compromise his principles, and had that dogged reassurance that he must achieve his goals.
He has never given up. He has told me that you must not surrender. And today, a large part of my new determination has been based on Aloy Lequay's example that he will not surrender and he shall not give up in this quest to unite our nation.
I cannot be selfish. Whatever skills I have, I've got to come into the communities where I live and assist with national development. And if we could get people going into all our communities doing that, we will not only unite people more, but we might help with some of our present social problems that we have. And that is what I hope will come out of this documentary.